All right, let's dive into a simple story that has a really profound message, something I think we can all relate to. It's all about the mental burdens we carry around every single day. We're calling this one the weight of the glass.
So let me just start by asking you a question, and I want you to really think about it for a second. How heavy is your stress?
Now, you might have an answer in your head already, but what if I told you it's probably a whole lot lighter than you actually think?
And to see how that's even possible, it all starts with a simple but pretty powerful little story.
So, I want you to picture this. A philosophy teacher walks into her classroom, ready to start the day's lesson.
But instead of pulling out textbooks or a bunch of notes, she holds up a simple glass of water for everyone to see. And then she asks a question that seems, well, almost too simple. How heavy is this glass of water? So of course, the students start shouting out guesses. 8 ounces, 12 ounces, whatever. But the teacher, she kind of smiles and reveals that there are actually 2 ways to think about it. See, there's the actual weight, right? That's a fixed number. It doesn't change. But then there's the felt weight. And that, she says, depends completely on how long you hold it.
If you just hold it for a minute, it's no big deal. It feels like absolutely nothing at all.
But try holding that exact same glass for a whole hour, and your arm is definitely going to start to ache. That strain becomes very real.
Now imagine trying to hold on to it for the entire day. Your arm will probably go totally numb. That weight becomes paralyzing.
And here is the crucial point, the real aha moment. The actual weight of that glass never changed one bit. But the longer you hold it, the heavier and heavier it feels. And this, of course, is where the real lesson comes in. Because the glass isn't just a glass. It's a metaphor for all the stresses and worries we have in life. The mental burdens, the glasses of water that we carry around every single day. To put it really simply, your worries, that deadline at work, that tough conversation you need to have, whatever it is that's weighing on you, that's your glass of water.
And if you think about those things for just a little while, they seem manageable, right? You can make a plan, figure out what to do next.
But if you dwell on them all day long, letting them just churn in your mind, they become absolutely paralyzing. It's just like holding that glass for way too long.
So, what's the solution? Well, the teacher offers one that's both incredibly simple and, let's be honest, profoundly difficult. She says, put the glass down.
This whole idea of choosing to let go, it actually reminds me of another really powerful metaphor, an old story about a cow tied to a man. The man in the story feels completely dragged down by this cow that's tied to him, but the big lesson is that we aren't actually forced to carry the burden. In reality, we are the ones who are choosing to hold on to the rope.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually put the glass down? Well, we can break it down into 3 steps. First step, identify your glass. Like, what is it specifically that you're holding on to? Second, acknowledge its weight. Seriously, how long have you been carrying this thing around? An hour, a week, maybe even a year? And finally, this is the most crucial step of all. You have to choose to cut the rope. You have to give yourself permission to just let go.
Because ultimately, that's what this is all about. Finding a sense of peace isn't about the burden magically disappearing. It's about you making a conscious, active choice to let it go.
Look, we all have a glass of water that we're carrying, every single one of us. So the final question is really for you. What are you going to do with yours?